Hello everyone, welcome to Selena's Corner. In today's session, we'll be discussing MCQs of B.Ed Course 202, Unit 3, Social Basis of Framing Curriculum in Education. This unit has been divided into three parts, the first being values in the Indian Constitution and their reflection in the curriculum. Second, views on curriculum by the three thinkers, that is Dr. Ambedkar, Mahatma Gandhi and Tagore. And the third is multiculturalism in education. So let's begin. Question 1. The dash embodies the fundamental values and the philosophy on which the Constitution is based. Option A, Constitution of India. Option B, Preamble. Option C, Curriculum. Or option C, Syllabus. The correct answer is option B, Preamble. It is like an introduction to the Constitution of India, and it uh, summarizes the Constitution, shows the values and philosophies that the Constitution is based on. So now the Constitution embodies multiple values. Let's study each one of them. Question 2. What is socialism? Option A. Having complete political freedom. Option B. Not being guided by any one religion. Option C. Promoting change to end all forms of inequalities. Or option D. Deriving its authority from the people. In India, we've got a lot of social and economic inequalities, right? So, to end all this, socialism is this constitutional value that promotes social change and transformation, which will end all forms of inequalities. So, the correct option is option C. So, our constitution has made a lot of provisions to deal with inequalities. It even directs our government to prevent concentration of wealth in the and power also in the hands of few people. Question 3. Which value in the Constitution stands for the spirit of common brotherhood among all the people of India? Option A, equality. Option B, fraternity. Option C, secularism. Or option D, democracy. The correct answer is option B, fraternity. I would advise you, as we are learning, just make small notes. So write the value and write in brief definition of that particular value. So it'll be easy for you to revise and relearn. Question 4. The value that states that every citizen of India is equally eligible to be elected as the head of the state is dash. Option A, sovereignty. Option B, republic. Option C, secularism. Option D, justice. Correct answer is option B, republic. I hope you all are taking notes. Question 5. Which constitutional value means that our country is not guided by any one religion nor any religious considerations? Option A, secularism. Option B, socialism. Option C, liberty. Or option D, dignity of the individual. The correct answer is secularism. So there is no one religion that guides the country, but the country is not even against any religion. So all the citizens are free to follow and believe in any religion that they like. The state in particular has no religion at all. Question 6. By which value does the Constitution ensure equality of status and opportunity to every citizen for their development? Option A, justice. Option B, unity and integrity of the nation. Option C, equality. Option D, socialism. Correct answer is option C, equality. Question 7. Which of the following constitutional values means having complete political freedom and being the supreme authority? Option A, fraternity. Option B, justice. Option C, sovereignty. Option D, secularism. The correct answer is option C, sovereignty. So there is no outside body or individual who has authority over India. It is we, the people of India, who has complete authority over our country. Question 8. Which form of government is based on the principles of inalienable rights of citizens, independence of judiciary, free and fair elections, freedom of press, and rule of law? Option A, democracy. Option B, monarchy. Option C, aristocracy. Or option D, dictatorship. Correct answer is option A, democracy. Question 9. Democracy is a form of government that option A derives its powers from its head of state, option B derives its power from its elected members, option C derives its power from its citizens, or D none of the above. I think each and every Indian citizen should know that democracy derives its power from its citizens. The word democracy itself means people in Greek. The Greek word for democracy is demos. Even President Abraham Lincoln has described democracy as the government of the people, by the people, and for the people. So basically, the supreme power is vested in the people of the country. Question 10. Which value prescribes freedom of thought, expression, belief, faith, and worship? Option A, equality. Option B, fraternity. Option C, liberty. Or option D, justice. The correct answer is option C, liberty. The word liberty itself means freedom. Question 11. Which value is not included in the preamble but is reflected in the provisions of the Constitution? Option A, dignity of the individual. Option B, international peace and a just international order. Option C, unity and integrity of the nation. Or option D, socialism. So option A, C and D are all included in the preamble. So we have only option B left. So that is the only one that is not included in the preamble, but it's there in the provisions of the Constitution. Question 12. According to Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar, what was the reason for the gulf between dominant and marginalized groups in society? Now, marginalized means, say, call them minoritized groups, the minority groups, and dominant, you can call them the majority groups. So, this majority and minority could be because of religion or language or anything. Okay. So, Dr. Ambedkar wants to know the reason between this great divide between these two groups. Let's find out. Option A, minoritized groups had no social presence. Option B, minoritized groups did not understand the dominant groups. Option C, minoritized groups would not participate. Or option D, none of the above. The correct answer is option A, that they had no social presence. Basically, they had nobody who could represent them and put their problems forth. Right. So the dominant group people who obviously had a lot of social presence, they did not understand the problems of these minority group people, and hence they couldn't help them. And minority groups, since they didn't have any social presence, they couldn't lift themselves up. Question 13. How does the NCF, that is National Curriculum Framework 2005, inculcate the values of representation of the marginalized into the curriculum? Option A, the prescribed text uses stories, first person accounts, etc. of minority groups. Point B, it proposes the study of social sciences from marginalized group perspectives. Point C, gender justice and sensitivity towards issues related to scheduled caste and scheduled tribe communities. Option D, all of the above. The correct answer is option D, all of the above. Question 14. Who said education ought to be for the children a kind of insurance against unemployment? Option A, Mahatma Gandhi. Option B, Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar. Option D, Tagore. Option D, none of the above. The correct answer is option A, Mahatma Gandhi. Question 15. The famous slogan, educate, agitate and organize is given to us by dash. Option A, Mahatma Gandhi. Option B, Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar. Option C, Tagore. Option D, none of the above. The correct answer is option B, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar. Now, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar believed that education has an immense, a huge impact on the human society, and it trains the mind to think and to take right decisions. He even said that only after education a man becomes a rational animal. That means he can think rationally. Now, the second step, that is agitate, does not mean that get irritated or something. It is more of a mental revolution. It still does not mean that you go out on the street and start protesting violently. Okay, because only an educated person will get agitated, in the sense will get aware of all the things that is happening in the society, which will move him to take some action. So if there's something unjust, he feels agitation in his mind that he needs to do something about it because he knows what is right or wrong. Correct. This brings us to the third point, that is organize. Only educated and agitated minds will easily organize for any common mission. So when all these agitated minds come together for some common mission, they will be able to unite and struggle for their common goal and they can do all this as one force. Question 16. Which of the following are contributions of Gandhiji to education? Option A, free and compulsory education at primary level. Option B, gave importance to vocational and industrial education. Option C, education of the weaker sections of the society. Or option D, supported schooling that inculcates human rights education. The correct answer is option A, free and compulsory education. Now let's understand the other contributions of Gandhiji as well, because questions can be formulated in on any of the contributions, isn't it? So first contribution will be free and compulsory education for ages 7 to 14. Second is mass education. So he wanted the entire nation to be educated. So free and compulsory education for the primary level is first stage. Second will be women's education, and third is adult education. This way, maximum number of people will be educated, and thus mass education will be fulfilled. Third contribution is co-education. So Gandhiji said that for primary and higher classes, co-education is perfectly fine. But for adolescents, it is not too great. So avoid that. The fourth contribution was about religious education. He said it's better not to teach any specific religion because it may boost communalism. But general principles of all religions and moral education should be given to the children. So virtues like truth, peace, love, justice, non-violence, these should be taught to the children. The fifth thing that he spoke about was medium of instruction in schools. He said that mother tongue should be the medium of instruction because it makes the process of education natural and meaningful. So at least in the primary, that is the elementary level, the medium should be the mother tongue. Then he spoke about, that is the sixth point, he spoke about craft-centered education. He said that these craft-centered measures need not be only for productive work, but they should develop the intellect of these pupils. Seventh point was self-supporting education. He said that the government of India cannot sponsor so many people in India, isn't it? He even said that the foreigners who brought this education system, it is really expensive and it is a big burden for a poor country like us. So he came up with this new scheme that is called the basic education. This is not just work centered, but it is also self supporting. So basically, it is earn value learn kind of feature this basic education has. And the last point is comprehensive education. That means he aimed that the curriculum should have an all round development of the personality of the pupil. That should be the aim of any curriculum that is formulated. So these are the contributions of Gandhiji. Please make a note of it. If you haven't already, just rewind a little and note down these points so it will be easy for you. Question 17. Tagore emphasized dash in education. Option A, rationalism. Option B, nationalism. Option C, naturalism. Or option D, idealism. So Tagore emphasized naturalism in education. He said that the child will derive inspiration from nature to pursue any branch of knowledge that he likes, and hence he emphasized on naturalism. Question 17. Who established Shanti Niketan? Option A, Rabindranath Tagore. Option B, Mahatma Gandhi. Option C, Bhimrao Ambedkar. Option C, none of the above. The correct answer is Rabindranath Tagore. Since he believed in naturalism, he established Shanti Niketan. The word means abode of peace. Okay, so the aim of this school was to bring learning closer to nature. In those times, the British schools had a strict rote learning method. So he did not believe in that and hence he established this place. Question 18. Dash is the coexistence of diverse cultures, ethnic, religious and linguistic groups. Option A, culturalism. Option B, multiculturalism. Option C, realism. Or option D, pragmatism. The correct answer is option B, multiculturalism. Question 19. What are the two main language families in India? Option A, Austro-Asiatic and Sino-Tibetan. Option B, Sino-Tibetan and Indo-Aryan. Option D, Dravidian and Aryan. Option D, Indo-Aryan and Dravidian. So the two main language families in India are option D, Indo-Aryan and Dravidian. The northeastern side of India speaks Austro-Asiatic and Sino-Tibetan. So just remember these 2 points, okay? Question 20. Which points are common in Tagore and Gandhiji's view of curriculum? Now, I know we haven't spoken about Tagore's views in detail, but we have spoken about Gandhiji's views of curriculum in detail. So, I think this question will cover even Tagore's views easily. So, let's continue. Option A, mass education. Option B, service to mankind is service to God. Option C, rejected book-centered education. Or option D, all of the above. The correct answer is option D, all of the above. So Gandhiji suggested mass education, so free education to children in the primary stage, and also women education and adult education. Tagore also said the same. He also insisted that there should be free education for secondary school as well. Option B, that was service to mankind. Both of them said that religion is extremely important, but they didn't talk about any one specific religion. Gandhiji said that general principles such as truth, love, honesty, non-violence, correct, that is religion. And Tagore said that serving the poor, uplifting the backward. So basically, service to mankind is the best service to God. So this is their idea of religion. Point C, that is rejected book-centered education. Both of them rejected this. Tagore said that rote learning is really bad. So subjects like language, literature, psychology, nature study, science, all these should be taught, but in view of nature. So naturalism, remember. And Gandhiji said that it should be craft-centered education. So it has to be activity-based. So I think that covers both their viewpoints. Question 22. As a teacher, what will you not do while teaching in a multicultural classroom? Option A. Celebrate different festivals. Option B. Segregate the class according to differences. Option C. Include lessons and activities based on various cultures. Or option D. Set projects for students on a culture or nation. So option A, C and D, these are all activities that inculcate a feeling of mutual respect for all kinds of cultures, race, religion, everything. Whereas option B is basically segregating them and pitting them against each other. So this is not what you do in a multicultural classroom. This is a slightly different question. It's a match the following. So on the left hand side, you've got these articles that are based on education and are mentioned in the Constitution of India. And on the right side, you've got a brief description of these articles. Okay, so let's match them. What we'll do is we will match them like we used to do in primary school by drawing lines. All right, okay. So Article 28 tells us that no person attending any kind of educational institution that is recognized by the state or that they are receiving any kind of funds from the state, this person is not required to take part in any religious instruction unless he has given consent for it, or if he is a minor, then his guardian has given consent for it. So they're not obligated to listen to any of the religious instructions given by any educational institution. Second, that is Article 46. This is, where is it? Point 4. This is related to the education of weaker sections and the scheduled caste and scheduled tribes. Article number 45. This is the one that we've spoken about so many times. Free and compulsory education for elementary school. And article number 30 is obviously this one. It is the rights of all these minorities to establish and administer educational institutions. So our correct answer would be 2, 4, 1 and 3. That is option B. So here is a list of 10 articles that you need to know. because all these are constitutional provisions relating to education, and since we are in this field we need to know about them, and they are important from the exam point of view as well. Question 24. Whose philosophy of education is based on the ideas of Western thinkers like Rousseau and belief in the ancient Indian Vedas? Option A, Mahatma Gandhi. Option B, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar. Option C, Rabindranath Tagore. And option D, none of the above. The correct answer is option C, Rabindranath Tagore. Question 25. Who said by education mean an all-round drawing out of the best in the child and man, body, mind and spirit? Option A, Mahatma Gandhi. Option B, Dr. Ambedkar. Option C, Tagore. Option D, none of the above. The correct answer is option A, Mahatma Gandhi. So Mahatma Gandhi has put forth a lot of his ideas which can be easily asked in the MCQ format. So here's a list of all the questions that can be asked. I'm not going to read it. You just quickly make a note of it. The answer to all these 4 questions in front of you is Mahatma Gandhi. He has made these comments. If you understand the basic idea behind Gandhiji's philosophy that it has to be all-round development and that English is not too great and all that, you will easily understand who has said these things. So these 2 questions, the answer to these 2 questions is also Mahatma Gandhi. So make a note of it. So the answer to these 2 questions, that is 32 and 33, is Tagore. Education is a permanent part of the venture of life is something that Tagore has said. And the question number 33 is a definition that he's given about education. So that's it for today, people. Was that too much information? You don't need to worry. Just take it slowly. You can pause the video anytime. You can just take down notes. Please make notes because it will be really helpful for you. You can quickly revise and you will know everything without even referring to it again. So please do make notes. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already and keep studying. Thank you. I will see you in the next video.